Hello, everybody. Today is Wednesday, April 13th, 2013, late afternoon where we are. And I want to share with you something that you've probably all heard from people, whether it be family, friends, peers, coworkers, etc. Is people telling you you can't, or, I call them the naysayers or haters, and people looking at you like you're an idiot and you don't know what you're doing in your life? Well, um, first off, don't listen to them. And secondly, I will say that growing up with ADHD wasn't easy. People always looked at you as being lazy, um, not smart, coming down on you, never listening, never doing what you're supposed to. And people who don't have ADHD, even high class professionals I've met have gone through this with their family and friends and so on. So basically, for a lot of my adult life, people were always telling me you can't, or you're not supposed to do this, or you're not good enough, or whatever. And this part of this goes to back to one of my earlier videos on what fear is and fear of money. So basically, what I will say is first, don't listen to these people. If they're close friends and family, just nod your head, smile, let it go in one ear and out the other, and carry about your business. You don't even need to include them in your business. Just tell them everything's fine. No need to worry. If you have to, just give them as little detail as possible. People will be confused as hell at how you're getting by. Um, put it this way, people who, like Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Hewlett and Packard, all these people took major risks. And I'm sure they had a ton of people who told them they can't their whole lives, whether it be their spouses, girlfriends, family, immediate family, friends, peers. They couldn't. They were working out of garages mostly. But did that stop them? No matter how little money they had, they kept going. And that's what I'm telling you. Um, as time has gone by, the more and more people tell me that I can't, the more it motivates me to be who I am now. Despite I am still recovering, it motivates me to be who I am now. And I'm not going to stop hiding truth anymore. I don't want to get some little meaningless 9 to 5 job within the matrix anymore. Sorry, that's not me. And if you all don't like it, well, in the most possible kindly words, tell them to screw off. And that's what I'm sharing with you. In the most possible, kindest way possible, depending on who they are, tell them to screw off. And you're living for you. You're okay. You matter. And they'll come up with tons of reasons why you can't do something. And the worst part is, put it this way: many times they're jealous of people have taken these risks because they themselves wanted to take these risks when they were younger or even now, and they were too afraid to do it. So because you're in their circle, to what point I don't know. That depends on you and who's around you. They will try and bring you down to their level, a level that they're comfortable at. They'd rather you be working at a similar job or a job that they know that you used to work at because they feel comfortable. Um, and they say it comes from a good place, but who knows? Who the hell knows, Um, put it this way, I recently I saw a video about a guy who always wanted to be a running back on a high school football team, perfect size for it and had speed. But because his math was a bit weak, eventually it got better as time went on. His coach told him, no, you can't. You're going to be put on the defensive line. He later went on to play at a top college defensive line and was undersized. He was later put in as running back and excelled. Um, and just because of some crusty old man who told him that he couldn't do it, he believed it because he was somebody he was supposed to look up to. And I've had similar experiences with people you were supposed to look up to, but they tell you certain things and then they do the complete opposite. Um, my father, for example, for the past 23 years, lets his partner manipulate him and doesn't speak from the heart and can't be his own person. He's not comfortable in his own skin. It's so obvious by his body language when we're out with him. But when he's alone, he completely tells jokes, lets loose, and so on. And just does whatever his partner tells him to do. And he always acts as a messenger between her and my wife and I. And the second that we challenge him, he gets his defense up and says we're attacking his partner. Well, I lived with that my whole life. He once told me when I was about 13, after he just moved me away from my home, where my mom was and other family members were, to a foreign place, and he eventually told me that if she leaves because of you, I'll never speak to you again, so you better shape up and do what you're supposed to do. Never mind getting help with my ADHD so I could excel at school and get ahead in life. It was just about the partner. So in my case, it was my father who, I know he loves me, but he, instead of just getting the help I needed, he just threw money at me because he couldn't take the time or was worried that she wouldn't approve. So that was my high school football coach, i.e. my dad, in my case, telling me that I couldn't. That's the person who I had in my life telling me that I couldn't, and then people around me. And now that I've changed, they're not comfortable. He's not comfortable, and I've started keeping my distance, but still associate with him. I still have him over, and he's not comfortable. He tries to get me back to the level that he's at, and I'm not going to let it. And I have one of the things I will say about the people who tell you can't. If you were able to, cut them out. They're not worth your time or energy. And they certainly won't help you bring yourself up. They'll only bring you down. So tell them to screw off in the most kindest way possible. Do your thing. Don't let anybody tell you you can't. And I've seen so many cases time and time again that people who have fought and made it, later on, guess who comes ringing at the door for some sort of financial help or advice or something like that? Yeah, all the people who told you you can't. And how good does that feel to say, no, sorry, were you there when I needed you? No. And one last final note on this video. I will say that everyone has to follow their own path. Who am I? Who is your father or aunt or best friend or your sister? Who is anybody to tell anybody how to live? Again, I know there's in many families there's cultural issues and religious factors. So again, you want to try and respect those as much as possible. I've known many people, for example, they follow Islam, but they started up a business away from their family, but they still pray. They follow the Quran. They do all the rituals and You know, they fast when they have to. They go to family gatherings when they have to. Um, you know, so there's no real reason why you can't. And what happens very often is people get comfortable even in a bad situation. They get comfortable because it's not foreign to them. Humans fear change naturally, most humans anyway. At this point, I've begun to embrace them. Um, so, with that said, just live for yourself and don't let anybody tell you can't. Don't let them. Follow what's inside of you. And even if you have to move away, even if you have to move out of the country to follow your dream, do it. Don't let anybody tell you because you'll regret it. And you won't be able to live with yourself later. Again, the final note I'll say is some of the most successful people and business people who were the most freest of people took the most risks possible. How will you ever know what you could have been if you don't take a chance? Take that chance. You won't regret it. And if you make a mistake, it doesn't matter. Make it big. You won't get any grief. But if you follow what's in your heart, follow all the guidance you receive, you'll be fine. Trust me. Anyway, I gotta run. But you be well, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found something common about it. And just take care of yourself. Do what you gotta do. And where there's a will, there's a way. Take care, everybody.